Hello everyone, my name is Chip and this is the Chip Cake Q&A. Yes, we reached 1,000 subscribers, so thank you all very, very much. And I've decided to celebrate. I'm going to do a Q&A while also playing the deck that I think most of you subscribe for. It is a mono-white Chancellor of the Annex Taxes deck. So hopefully we can have some fun, get some scoops and win some free games. And I'll answer your questions. I'll leave a full deck list down in the description. And thank you all 1,000 of you so much. It means so much to me. And let's get on with some games and some questions. All right, we've got a good opener. We're going to keep. Reveal our Chancellor. Alrighty, so Ryan George has asked, what attracted me to the D&T archetype? Well, I started playing D&T shortly after I finished playing Standard, which was in Khan's block. And I really liked that Standard, but it also got me very, very used to running things like Thoughtseize and Hand Hate. And my friends would say things like, oh, well, you can't win games unless you take everyone's best spells out of their hand. And I thought, well, D&T with Thalia is basically doing the opposite of that. They get stuck with a bunch of spells in their hand. And they weren't happy with that result either, but I've had a lot of fun. Ragavan Nimble Pilferer. Okay, but they're paying for the Chancellor. That's fair. Okay, so we're going to tick up our Aether Vial. Sword of Fire and Ice. All right, and then Victor has asked, what was my favorite card? When did I start playing? And what do I work with? I assume that means what do I do for work? So just cast Stoneforge Mystic. I work in a warehouse at night and I put stock in trucks. That's basically all I do. Nothing too fancy. My favorite card, I've always had a soft spot for Eternal Witness and Grand Abolisher. Grand Abolisher was actually one of the first cards I ever bought because I versed a lot of blue decks and I didn't like my humans getting countered. So Grand Abolisher and Cavern of Souls were some of my first purchases and I'm very, very happy with them. Started playing in around 2011 when I went to university. They're attacking. Yeah, met a bunch of people. We were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And everyone was saying, you should play Magic, you should play Magic. And eventually I caved and I did. All right, they hit a Skyclave Apparition off the top that they can't cast. And they're cascading with a Bloodbraid Elf. Oh, Chalice of the Void for 0, hey? Are they even casting it? They're not casting it. Very nice. Well, let's activate Aether Vial, put in our Giver of Runes, go to our turn. All right, Tristan. Good old Tristan. Take up our Aether Vial. Tristan has asked, what is your least favorite video? Yeah, probably a boring answer here, but my least favorite video is one that people can't watch anymore. It's a Goblins video that I think a few people saw and reported some issues with the audio. I was trying a new piece of editing software and I was in a hurry and yeah, I didn't get to double check the footage and unfortunately it layered my audio strangely and the video was completely unwatchable. Also, the way it edits, it's destructive, so I wasn't able to get the footage back in a timely manner to re-edit the video with the editing software I've been using and continue to use to this day. So yeah, that one's a bit of a waste. Opponent swinging with both. I think we just take it here. Ragavan hits us again. Hits a Giver of Runes. Either that or there's the, when MH2 got released, I think my first video that I released was with Imperial Recruiter. Opponent Bloodbraid Elves into a Seasoned Pyromancer. And so the Imperial Recruiter video, I had made a whole song using someone else's music that according to their channel and their website I was allowed to use, but then the second the video went live we got hit with not a copyright strike but a copyright claim, and so unfortunately I did all that work and just had to take the video down, which never feels good. All right, in the end step we're going to Aether Vial our Stoneforge Mystic, yes, and we're going to get our Batterskull. We don't have a Batterskull, we're going to get our Maul. Okay, Maul's fine. Land would be lovely. Aether Vial can stay on 2. There it is. Okay, that's the Professor of Symbology. So activate Aether Vial. Professor of Symbology. We're going to discard the Chancellor. There's a land. We're going to play the Ghost Quarter. We're going to activate Stoneforge. Going to put a Sword of Fire and Ice into play. We're going to equip it to our Germ. Go to combat. Swing in. Shoot down a Bloodbraid Elf. We draw a Thalia. That's a good hit. All right, pass it there. All right, next question is from Martin. Why do you wear the hat that you wear? Opponent scoops it up there as well. Very nice. It's actually a bit of a boring answer. Why do I wear the hat that I wear? So we're going to bring in Dranniths because that's cool and they look like they're base red. So Burrenton's would be good. Batterskull would have been helpful there as well. We'll ditch Maul. What else? Smugglers, Copter. Let's cut 2 Professors. I think I'm cutting the Esper Sentinels in favor of the Burringtons. Run it back like that. So why do I wear this hat? Well, it's actually a very, very, very boring answer. So most of the things I do in my videos are for practical reasons. The reasons I talk the way I do is because it makes it easier to edit, things like that. Yeah, we can keep this one. So this hat is actually because the light above my desk is incredibly bright. And if I am wearing incorrectly colored shirts or opponent plays a Ragavan passes or the the setup isn't quite right. Maybe I'm a bit pale. Maybe the light in front of me is not bright enough. The dynamic range on my camera will actually wash out my face and head because I am a glorious looking bald man. And unfortunately, I don't think having a halo on my head really helps with the aesthetic of the channel. And that's why I wear hats and hoods and things. And why do I wear this hat? Well, this hat's just the most comfortable hat I own. And there's something kind of cool about wearing a green hat in front of a green screen and not having it get edited out, I think. Do you like the hat? I like the hat. All right, opponent hits a Field of Ruin with their treasure and it braids our Aether Vial. Okay, let's go to our turn. Thalia's cool. They're stuck on one land. Let's run out Thalia. Next question. What do you think about Leonin Arbiter in Death and Taxes? Cat Jesus is one of my favorite cards, so I haven't cut him from my list. I think there are lots of good combos that work with Leonin Arbiter. I think he's great with Path. I think he's great with Ghost Quarter. I think if you want to go down that line, you absolutely can. I do, however, have... Oh, opponent scoops up the match. Very nice to the Thalia. Always lovely to see. So yeah, I think that Leonin Arbiter might be okay. The issue is we're facing a lot of low cost threats. So even if we're able to get Leonin Arbiter down as soon as possible, which is turn 2, our opponent still has access to at the very least 1 mana unless they mulliganed incorrectly or didn't fetch in response. And unfortunately, we've got things like Dash Shadow Darcy, Ragavan, powerhouses of the format that just don't care. And if they get a Ragavan and they're able to attack with it, then we can't block with Arbiter or else they get their land back, or they hit us and they get a treasure, which means they get their land back. So I think he could have a future. I think right now, Modern is very hostile to him. All right, next game, we've won the die roll. Yeah, we can keep this one. So next question. Have you ever played 12 Hawk? It runs lots of cards similar to Death and Taxes. I've run a 12 Hawk style deck. We'll lead Flagstones in Pauper because you get all the Hawk effects as well. And I feel like they're quite good in that. I ran that in like a Soldier Tribal deck. So that was always a lot of fun. But in Modern, no, I haven't. And I've wanted opponent leads Forest into Pelt Collector. Okay. And I've wanted to run that style of deck with things like Jace for a while because you can put the cards back on top of your library. And then when you cast another one, you reshuffle your library. So we're going to get Kaldra here. And yeah, I think it's a really good deck. I would love to run 12 Hawk, especially if I could run Jace and Stoneforge. So maybe that's a list I need to look into running. If people are interested in seeing it, by all means, let me know because it does sound like a lot of fun. All right. Opponent plays a Flooded Grove, swings in. I'm just going to take it. There's no point blocking here. Flashing in a Briarhorn. Okay, when it enters the battlefield, target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Sounds good. I'm actually going to let them hit us. We could Solitude it now, but I'm going to let them hit us. Or am I? Because I want to Professor, get a card, and then Solitude, but that takes a whole other turn. So yeah, let's just evoke the Solitude, get rid of their 1/1. Maybe this will draw out the concession. Yeah, there it is. Why be fancy when you can win the game? All right. To the sideboard Amatorium. I think we're doing just fine. Maybe Thalia's not the best, but what would we bring in? Drop a Thalia for a Batterskull, I guess. Run it back like that. All right, next question is from Colton Callahan. What are other ways to support your content? Can you make a quick list of any community Discords, Patreons, platforms to engage with you in? Twitter, Reddit, love the videos. And Andrew has said that this is something you'd want to know as well. By far the best D&T content I've seen so far. Well, Andrew and Colton, thank you very much. That does mean a lot. I do use Reddit. I do post on the Death and Taxes subreddit when things go well or if I'm trying interesting tech. I have my email, chipkplays@gmail.com, but apart from that, I haven't really made any other social media or anything like that to help promote the channel. Don't think we can keep this off. We draw a land. We have 2 turns to draw a land, don't we? And we have, yeah, okay, we're going to keep, we've got double Chancellor as well. Got to keep the double Chancellor hand. So I don't have anything like that. I need to do some research and then I will organize things like Patreon and stuff, especially if people have decks that they want me to play. I think if someone could, all right, we'll reveal both our Chancellors, skip a queue and pay me for my time, really. You're not paying me to play the deck. You're paying me for my time. That might be the fairest way to do that, but I haven't researched any of those. An opponent scoops it up to the double Chancellor. Yeah, I haven't researched any of those platforms well enough to use them. So thank you. It does mean a lot. If you want to support the channel right now, just continue watching videos and I will work on some other way, if it's financially or through sharing posts and things like that. I will find a way. So thank you very much, Colton and Andrew. I really appreciate that. We've won the die roll. We're going to keep. It's just a good, strong hand. All right. Pelusio, I think. You are my favorite Death and Taxes content creator. So who's your favorite Death and Taxes content maker or any MTG content related? So probably my favorite, and it's actually really cool because he started making videos very, very recently again, is Giant Monster Games. I love his style of commentary, and watching him play Death and Taxes makes me very, very happy. So yeah, he went away for a while. I believe he started a family, things like that. Opponent plays an Abundant Harvest into our Esper Sentinel. So, you know, good on him for starting a family and prioritizing things that are more important to him. But yeah, that was definitely my favorite MTG content. Just the way he can talk for the duration of a video just always impressed me. I was never bored. All right, to go to our turn, we'll play a Ghost Quarter. They've revealed that there are a lot of spells. So, I think we'll go Stoneforge this turn, and we're going to just grab Maul here because we're going to put that on the Esper Sentinel if we can, and we'll swing in for one. The King in Yellow, what is your least favorite card? It depends. I think most cards have their place. In Commander, it's definitely Sol Ring. I think that's just a problem that every deck runs Sol Ring. Like, I will go out of my way to deliberately, I won't run Mana Rocks in a lot of my Commander decks. All right, so opponents played a Goblin Archaeomancer. Each spell that's red and or green costs one less to cast. Okay, we draw another Thalia. So let's play Ghost Quarter. Let's Solitude the Archaeomancer. We'll activate Stoneforge, put them all the Skyclaves down, and we'll target the Esper Sentinel. Awesome. And now we're going to swing in for 3. Flying First Strike. Very good. As far as other formats go, just stuff in Modern particularly, just stuff I see too often. Used to be like turn 1 Thoughtseize drove me insane, but honestly, I'm probably getting a little bit sick of Ragavan. Opponent casts Strike at Rich, so we get to draw. They can't pay 3. I love that. So yeah, just things that we're seeing a bit too often. Like, it used to be Hogak, it used to be the Eldrazi Temples. Honestly, in Arena and stuff, anything that gains life, if I see an opponent play Plains life gain creature, I'm just going to scoop because I play that deck. If I play Historic or Arena, I play that deck maybe 6 times in a row, and it just bothers me that it's just, they've made this format that's just so hostile to any new brew or deck because it's so hard to get the wild cards. You can't experiment. So people are playing what's safe so they can win some matches, so then they can get wild cards and play what they want to play. And ultimately that means you get a lot of the same decks, and it's frustrating to say the least. All right, now we're going to run out Stoneforge. We've hit them down to 14. We'll get Kaldra here, and then we're going to run out Aether Vial and pass it there. All right. David Garcia. Hey Chip, what card would you like to see in Modern for D&T? Mazawa's Jitte, Recruiter of the Guard. Wasteland's probably asking a bit too much, you think? And if you have a chance, and if you'd have the chance to design a new, I can't read that comment. I'm guessing if you had a chance to design a new card, what would you design? All right, opponent casts Strike at Rich, which means we get to draw another card. They get themselves a treasure token. Pass it there. Aether Vial ticking up. So what would I like in other formats for? I think Recruiter of the Guard could be cool, but Imperial Recruiter I've already found is too slow, so I think it's actually a pretty safe pick. Let's activate Stoneforge, put Kaldra Compleat into play, go to combat. Now our opponent has been tapping an awful lot of mana. All right, so they're down to 6. Let's run out Thalia here. Pass the turn there. So yeah, something that tutors would be cool. Maybe a white card that replaces itself when it dies. Like the 3 mana Eldrazi, I think is pretty cool. I would like to see a white card that did that. So you look at the top card of your library, or even just because I know Wasteland's probably asking a bit too much, but maybe like a white Wasteland. An opponent scoops it up there. Very nice. Maybe even like a white Wasteland where, let's just bring in the Burrentons, I guess, because that's all we really know is going on. I'll cut a Professor. I'll cut the Skyclaves. Yeah. Run it back like that. Maybe a white Wasteland style effect or Ghost Quarter style effect. That depends on you having white cards or you have to pay white mana into it, because white was the color of land destruction and then they gave that to red, and I would like white to get it back a little bit because we're using colorless sources for white destruction now, which is a little bit upsetting really. So I'm going to keep this. We're going to reveal our Dull Chancellor, and our opponent's going to go first. They crack their Wooded Foothills. Stomping Ground untapped. No, Stomping Ground tapped. Very interesting. So that's probably where I'd go with it. I'd like a white Wasteland or Ghost Quarter style effect. It doesn't have to be attached to a land or a white creature that could replace itself. And opponent scoops up the match. Chancellor, too good. All right, we've lost the die roll and this isn't a keepable hand. Mulligan. this also isn't keepable. Mulligan. Yeah, we can keep this one. I think we throw back Horizon Canopy. We're going down to one land, or are we ditching something else? Let's ditch the Maul. All right. Leo has responded to that saying that if he could make a card, he would want it to be Palace Jailer in Modern, which, yeah, fair enough. It's a good card. All right. Opponent's playing Tron. There's the Chancellor. Well, at least we got something to pitch for Solitude. Plains Aether Vial, pass. Kyle Scott has asked, what are 2 things you've been passionate about lately? Well, big old question there, Kyle. Definitely the channel, definitely want to make content that you guys enjoy. Branching out in that respect, I want to start playing different games, and I need to find a format that you will enjoy and appreciate. Oh, Ghost Quarter's cool. Let's just play Ghost Quarter, and we could run out Thalia and then Ghost Quarter next turn. That's probably a good plan. So we'll run out Thalia, pass it there. So yeah, definitely the channel, and then also I guess it's probably going to be a bit lame, but I've got a lovely relationship going with my partner Renee, and I'm very passionate about keeping that healthy, and she's very supportive of the channel, but I'm very aware that I don't want the channel to interfere with anything. Okay, opponent has just played Bane of Balagred. When Bane of Balagred attacks, defending player exiles 2 permanents they control. That's cool. All right, opponent's on some spice. I love it. But yeah, I'd like to, keep her happy, keep our relationship healthy, and that's probably a really lame answer, but I think at the end of the day, that's what we should all aim for. We should all aim to have healthy relationships with people we care about, and that's something that I'm passionate about. Sorry, that got a bit lame and touching there, but yeah. All right, opponent passes to us. Aether Vial's ticking up. Another Ghost Quarter. That's good. We're going to play the Ghost Quarter. We'll go to combat. We'll swing in for 2, and then we're going to stop on our opponent's draw. All right, Mushroom Zombie, I know who you are, has asked, how much do you love Mill? Also, if you could design a card just for taxes, what would it be? Ooh, good question, Mushroom Zombie. I respect Mill as a way to stop games from just going on forever. There needs to be an end to the game, so they set the once you're out of cards and you can't draw anymore, you lose clause. Get rid of the power plant as well. But it's not my favorite strategy, but I respect it for what it is. I think we all need a boogeyman in the format, and Mill is definitely mine. And if I could design a card just for taxes, what would it be? It would be a white land that's a Ghost Quarter. Opponent casts Thought Not Seer, can't take anything, because there's nothing to take, opponent. I say that like it's a good thing, but it's not. But yeah, just a white Ghost Quarter or Wasteland style effect. I think it's important that white gets back to its land destruction style. Aether Vial will stay. Will it? No, we'll tick it up to 3. Let's play Horizon Canopy or run out the Stoneforge Mystic. Let's get the Kaldra. Pass it there. No attacks. Leo. Good old Leo. Was there a specific card or interaction that made you realize D&T was going to be your thing? Ooh. Opponent has an Ugin, the Spirit Dragon, and we scoop it up. Was there a specific card? Yeah. So opponent had double Tron. We Ghost Quartered 2 of their Tron lands, and they just had double Tron. That's gross. I think we keep it the same for Tron, don't we? Yeah. So I used to play white-green taxes, and I think... All right, we can keep this one. I think for me, it was cards like Gaddock Teague that really punished our opponents for playing big spells alongside Thalia. So they'd finally get enough mana to play it alongside Thalia, and now there's a Gaddock Teague, so they can never cast it. So I definitely think that was something I enjoyed. Also, Ramanap Excavator on Ghost Quarter was just plain perfection, and there was nothing that could spark more joy in me than bringing back Ghost Quarters. They were fantastic. All right, opponent gets their expedition map counted. We draw another Stoneforge. All right, well, we'll run out Stoneforge Mystic. Think we'll get Maul here. Pass the turn. Daniel Mota has asked, why don't you run 2 copies of Archon of Emeria? Okay, Daniel. So I suppose the question is, why do you only run 2 copies of Archon of Emeria? If it's a good enough card, maybe you should run 4. So you're running 2 less than the maximum, and I'm running 2 less than you, I guess. Archon is a really good card. I love that style effect. Before Archon got printed, I was running Eidolon of Rhetoric in the main board because I love that style of effect. But the thing to remember is that effect is symmetrical, and things like Counterspell exist in the format now. So control decks definitely get better. Also, the effect that Archon of Emeria, Eidolon of Rhetoric, and Aethersworn Canonist provide are fantastic effects if you're versing a lot of things like Prowess, if you're versing a lot of things like, is it Phoenix? These are decks, and Storm as well. These are decks that need to cast all their spells in one turn. And then Archon of Emeria can trade with a Phoenix as well, so that's definitely useful. But what it cannot trade against is a Dragon's Rage Channeler once Delirium's active. And Dragon's Rage Channeler generates just as much value if you're casting the spells during your own turn or your opponent's turn. Opponent plays a Matter Reshaper, and they're more than happy to play a slower game. And it's also very important to realize that we're also playing... Okay, so we have the Solitude now as well. All right, so let's activate Stoneforge. Let's put the Kaldra Compleat into play. But it's also, these effects are symmetrical, where Thalia, we get around the symmetry of running almost no non-creature spells in our deck. We can't really break the symmetry of Archon of Myria anymore. All right, we'll go to combat, because we want to cast things like Solitude and stuff, and by running Archon of Myria, which is too slow to deal with Cascade decks now that there's lots of 3-drop Cascade cards. Our opponent's going to block with the Matter Reshaper. Sure, we'll just trample over. Is that we lose a bit of that surprise factor with our free spells with Solitudes and stuff. If we cast a spell, then our opponent can do something and we don't get a chance to respond anymore. So we're turning off one of our avenues as well. So I don't think it's good enough anymore is basically the long and the short of it. I think it might become good if Prowess and Storm make a big comeback, but until then, I'm pretty happy running none of that effect and sticking with Drannith Magistrate. Opponent casts Thought-Knot Seer. Let's just Solitude that now. Getting rid of our Chancellor, we get to draw off the Thought-Knot, get a Plains. Okay, that's good. QUESTCHINS. What motivated you to make your channel, and how did you get into the video production skit side of things? Do you have a love for movies, theater, and do you want to get into more of that? Your content and articulation of D&T gameplay and choices is amazing, but your personality and how you choose to show it through your style of videos says a lot of great things about you. Please share more of what got you into YouTube content creation. Wow. Okay. Thank you very much. That is incredibly high praise and I appreciate it very much. So they took the Skyclave. Interesting. So I've always been interested in video production. The language of film is something that I feel like I spoke from a very young age. We'll play Flagstones, keeping the untapped Flagstones, ripping our Plains out of our deck. And so I always wanted to make movies. I think one of the first things I asked my parents to get me for Christmas was a video camera. And I wanted to make movies, and we'll run out Maul and we're going to put it on the Stoneforge. And I just liked telling stories and entertaining people. I wrote a lot when I was younger. I don't write very much now, so that's a regret. But yeah, I did study performing arts and drama at university. And as for what inspired me to make this channel, I have a couple of pet projects that I want to do. Unfortunately, finding time to do them is an issue. And I can practice with my camera. I can practice filming myself, doing all sorts of things. But what I wasn't able to practice was editing, and so making the channel was a good way to practice editing. And it's just been a great style of content for me. I think just all right, opponent takes it down to 13. Just the process of making these videos has always been very satisfying to me. Opponent's going to spatially contort our Giver of Runes. Okay, so that's what got that going. As for what inspired me to make this particular channel, I was bored. Lockdown was happening and I was bored. All right, opponent's going to play a Thought-Knot Seer, getting rid of our other Stoneforge. I have made other channels before. I have like personal channels with me and my friends playing different games. That's always been fun. Opponent has another Thought-Knot Seer that can't take anything. Okay. And so I do love just video creation and comedy and that style stuff. So that would be why. Let's equip the Maul to the gem, go to combat, swing in for 7. All right, Steve Manzo, how did you get into the D&T archetype? What was your favorite and least favorite card or cards? Is Leona and Arbiter viable in the current modern meta? Really enjoy your content. Your videos are a lot of fun. Yeah, so coming out of Khan's block, people were sick of me playing with my Thought Seizers and stuff. So I decided to completely pivot and I switched to a mono white deck that used Tax's cards. And then I added green to that because I was already a white-green humans player as well. So that's how I got into that. Favorite and least favorite cards. An opponent scoops it up there. Grand Abolisher and anything I see too often. So Hogak and the like. Ragavan right now probably sitting up there as my least favorite. Let's bring in no, let's not. Let's bring in the Batterskull, I think. I think that comes in over the Sword of Fire and Ice. Run it back like that. Quite bored, asking, if Taxes for whatever reason was unable to be played, what decks would you play as your main? Mine would be Legacy Lands, super fun archetype. For vintage Golos stacks, my opponents are refused fun. Oh, exciting. All right, we're going to keep this one. We got the Ghost Quarter. I'd probably go back to the old Thoughtseize Jund style decks that I love. Just something I feel I'm good at, and it's play Plains and we'll run out an Aether Vial. Something I feel I'm good at, and it's just a fun strategy, just outvaluing your opponent with good cards while taking their best cards out of their hand. What was your first set of MTG and your first deck? My first set, I believe, was Innistrad. This is when I was playing. Earlier on, I got given some cards, but I had no one to play with. Opponent plays Pithing Needle. Oh, that's a bit mean. Is this for my Aether Vial? Yeah, it's for my Aether Vial. Okay. And a Cavern of Souls. That's a bit mean. All right. Aether Vial will tick up anyway. Another Professor. All right, Flagstones, Professor of Symbology. But yeah, original Innistrad was probably my first set. All right, so Professor, we're going to learn. Let's just grab Reduce to Memory. And the first deck I built myself was a white-green humans deck. It was very fast. It ran Mirror of Arabrooks and Grand Abolishes and Cavern of Souls. So it was a lot of fun for me and not for a lot of other people. Finn is asking, out of all the recent D&T decks you tried, which one is your favorite? Which one is the strongest? Considering starting a D&T deck and can't decide. Really liked the first Hawk deck you 5-0'd with, but consider filling it, I'm guessing, with considering filling it with 2 Welcoming Vampires. Auto ask plainly, might you give a good deck with Hawks and Welcoming Vampire based on your experiences with the cards? I think there is the chance that there could be a very strong deck in those in Death and Taxes with that. If you wanted to run Hawks and Welcoming Vampire, I don't think you need Esper Sentinel. I think you get enough value. Opponent plays a Matter Reshaper and passes. I think you get enough value from the Welcoming Vampire. So what you'd want is a way to protect the Welcoming Vampire. So I would consider running cards like Spirit of the Labyrinth, because then you've got a good flying creature base. Not Spirit of the Labyrinth. I would consider running Selfless Spirit. Oh, okay. We hit the Skyclave. So let's run out Skyclave. Let's take out Pithing Needle. Yeah, so Selfless Spirit, maybe Selfless Savior as another avenue to protect things, because you're going more the protection route and value route. Definitely keep Stoneforge, but yeah, absolutely. There is a list there that's just waiting for someone to play it, and maybe that someone is you. So I definitely think you could make a high value flying taxes deck for sure. Opponent's going to swing in with the Matter Reshaper. Well, we're just going to take it. Cracking their expedition map. Eldrazi Temple. Okay, another Reshaper. Fair enough. Let's activate Aether Vial. Professor of Symbology. Let's learn. And I think we get Spirit Summoning here. So thank you all for all the questions. It's been pretty fun. I'm not sure how this game's going to go, but it is exciting that our last game for this one is on Eldrazi Tron. Certainly a nemesis for the deck. Field of Ruin certainly helps. So let's activate Field of Ruin on the Tectonic Edge. We will tap Ghost Quarter to do it. Get ourselves a Plains. Run out Smuggler's Copter. And we'll just pass the turn there. But yeah, thank you. So we reached 1,000 subscribers. That's a huge deal for me, and I've had a lot of fun doing this, and the fact that you all enjoy it means a lot as well. So moving forward, hopefully we can get definitely some more Magic content. We've got some exciting stuff coming out in the new sets that I'm going to be pumped to play. I'll organize some other games to get into the rotation, whether we release them as Let's Plays or some other style. I don't know, but I'd be excited to do that. So if you guys have suggestions for games, please let me know. And everyone, thank you so much. It's been a wonderful ride getting here. Oh, Reality Smasher. That's a bit scary. Oh, all out swing. All out swing. So let's crew the Smuggler's Copter. Go to blocks. Let's block here, block here, block here. We're going to discard a card and draw a card. We're going to discard our Aether Vial. Thalia as well. Okay. Discard the Aether Vial then. Thalia is pretty cool. All right. What did our opponent hit off the Matter Reshaper? All is dust. I see. Activate Aether Vial. Thalia into play. Go to our turn. Aether Vial can stay on 2. Flagstones is cool. I think we Ghost Quarter the Eldrazi Temple. They do have the wastes. Let's tap our mana, play our Flagstones, keep our untapped Flagstones. Plains, Spirit Summoning. I suppose if we're not attacking with the Thalia, we didn't need to do that. So do we attack with Thalia then? I guess so. Because we could have vialed it in after Spirit Summoning. It just means we would have got Giver of Runes down. All right, opponent takes down 18 past the turn there. We're pinching their mana, as is mine, although they could just have Tron and win. Who knows? Reality Smasher, okay. Swings in like that. Okay, so let's lose the Professor, blow up the Illusion, we'll take 5. Opponent hits an Expedition map, which means they have Tron, which means All Is Dust is coming. Oh dear, we need to hit land destruction right now. Aether Vial, no, we'll keep it on 2. Mishra's Factory is not land destruction. All right, Mishra's Factory, we need to play Reduce to Memory now. Discard the Giver of Runes. No reason not to attack, I guess. We should have attacked before we got rid of the Reality Smasher. Definitely a misplay on my part. Crack the Expedition map. Urza's Tower. Swings in for 3. Yeah, we'll take it. Down to 6. Urza's Tower. All is dust. Okay, so they wiped their creature as well, but they have 3 cards in hand and about infinite mana. So, yay. Aether Vial. I guess we'll keep it on 2. Oh, Ghost Quarter. Let's take out the tower. That's the one they searched for. Animate Mishra's Factory. Swing in for 2. Pass the turn there. Hers is mine. Thought Not Seer. Okay, can't be countered, but also if we can deal with it, we get to draw, and we have 4 Solitude in the deck. Ratchet Bomb, that's pretty gross. Non-land permanent though. So Mishra's Factory, Solitude, Skyclave is what we want to see. We will not tick up the Aether Vial. Stoneforge is also respectable. So we could Aether Vial, get Batterskull, cast it right away, because they might have another Thought Knot, which would worry me. Stoneforge Mystic, let's get the Batterskull, run out Batterskull, pass it there. It just insulates us from another Thought Knot here, because we could Stoneforge in response to the Thought Knot here, but then they could just take whatever we grabbed. All right, they crack the Ratchet Bomb, blow up our germ. That's fair. There's his tower, there's their mana again. Endbringer, I see. They swing in, I see no reason not to block. Go to our turn. Something good off the top, please. Aether Vial, I think now we do have to tick it up, don't we? Thalia is not it. Oh well, run it out. Pass the turn. They swing in with both. I'm just going to block Endbringer. Opponent had a land. Urza's tower. Okay. In the end step, let's return that Batterskull. I think Endbringer untaps though, so we're dead unless we can deal with it. So Solitude off the top, please. That's not it. That'd be the game. So Endbringer is going to ping us for 1, and then they can ping us again. Oh well, we tried. Look, thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and thank you all 1,000 and whatever it is of you for subscribing. It's huge. So thank you all very much. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and until next time, have fun.